Wraggys Beer review. So, day 21 of the Adventure Beer Advent Calendar, and my Advent calendars don't look very good anymore. I've had an accident with the Thornbridge one. I've got come to the shed this morning. Two of the beers are on the floor. Where them beers come from? And my fault, they fell out of the bloody box. So, day 21, as you can see, look at the state of the Advent calendar. Look at that. It's actually come away. My fault. So, this is day 21. And here we go. It's Milestone's Dasher. And I do love Christmassy beers, so it's great to have a Christmassy beer on the front. So, Milestone Brewery, Nottinghamshire based brewery, NG23, so Newark sort of way, I would have thought. A rich red ale full of Christmas cheer. That's what it says, 4.5%. I'm actually glad it's another ABV because we're going out. Good afternoon. And then it says good evening, then, but yeah. So I'm off into town later, so we're going to the pub and we're going boozing. So, or at least for a couple of pubs, 2 or 3 pubs. Going to be out in Nottingham at 6 o'clock. So there's 3 pubs that I need. One we're going for food, but we'll have a couple of beers while we're there. Well, I will. The wife won't. And then we're going to 2 Castle Rock pubs. One of them's got 3 beers that I really want. In fact, there's about 7 beers in total that I want. So it's going to be a slightly heavy night. Well, they're not too heavy. I'll be having thirds or halves. I won't be drinking a pint of anything. Don't need to in this day and age. I'd rather drink the menu than mess about. So, a lovely off-red colour this from Milestone Brewery. Yeah, mate. Yeah. I've been off since I broke up last Friday. Yeah, although I haven't really drank a lot. I have late at night and I felt it in the mornings. Yeah, it's good to be off, especially with all this COVID going about at the moment. Being in your own house is probably a good thing. Although, it's not good for pubs again. They're in the right in the firing line yet again. Pubs and restaurants, hospitality, not good. Although he has pledged $1 billion, I don't think we'll get another lockdown. I don't think they'll want that. They might. I've heard something about a curfew. So yeah, maybe that will happen, a curfew. Which, if there's a curfew of 9 o'clock, then at least then a lot of people will get their drink. You just go to the pub earlier, don't you? And it's always the way around. But what we don't want is separating yet tables and social distancing coming back. We don't want that rubbish back. Because that just, and sitting outside, I read some stupid thing where they say, oh, go and drink outside. What idiot can drink outside this time of the year? 5 minutes, you're frozen. Especially when you're drinking cold beer as well. So, nice malty aroma on this. Yeah. You don't want it 9. You don't want it 8. Someone says, I read it on the news, 8 o'clock. You're like, oh, it's 8 o'clock. 9:30, 10. Yeah. They're aiming it at the population that get drunk and start slabbering over all each other's. And yeah, that might be me tonight. Hey. That's why I'm doing this beer now. I'm doing these reviews now, so they're out of the way for later. There's a method in my madness. Review the beers early in the day. Then I'm not coming down this. I'm not trying to do it later. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I mean it's bad enough sitting in the shed with the heater on at the side of your feet, but sat outside, no. I'm not that desperate for a beer. But I like eating outside. I mean, yeah, it's all right eating a burger outside, not off a plate, but anything else, eating a meal outside, no. I already think it's scared a lot of people already. Good afternoon, Mr. Mersey Bears. So, it's the Adventure Beer one first because I've had an accident with the Thornbridge. Dasher the Flasher, yeah. Yeah. Dash of the Flasher. That's hilarious as well. Working on the Arboretum, I dealt with lots of flashers over the years. Yeah, chased a couple of them. And so it's a red ale, 4.5%. Yeah, as for the Thornbridge one, I come into the shed earlier and there's a beer on the floor, and I'm thinking, why are you sat on the floor? And two beers. Then when I come back in, there's another beer on the floor, and I'm thinking, it's going off there. Milestone Brewery. So this time of the year, they cleverly repackage a lot of their beers with Christmas themes on, and it's a clever way of doing it. And they've got 6 different Christmas beers, so that's great. If I actually reviewed them a couple of years ago, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, they're a good company, and they used to. I'm not sure if they still do now, but they used to have homebrew kits as well, probably made by Muntons of all people. But yeah, they used to have homebrew kits and some good brew kits as well, to be fair. So yeah, the Thornbridge calendar. The If you look there, the walls collapsed. Now it wouldn't be a problem. I reckon it was when I must have teared one last night, and I broke the blooming wall. So 2 beers fell out. I now know what beers day 23 and day 24 are. Yeah, which is a bit of a bummer, but I did expect one of those beers to be in it anyway. Favorite beer so far from both. Ooh, from the Thornbridge, the creme brulee imperial stout. From the Adventure Beer. Ooh. Oh, now you're asking. Probably the Castle Rock Dipper. No, not yet, mate. No, no. And I don't know what's behind number 21, because although that's a can, I can feel it's a can because I put a bottle underneath to stop it. Yeah, I've been off since last Friday. Yeah, I took 2.5 weeks for Christmas. Yeah, although I don't want too big a strong beer today because I'm going into town to try there's 3 Newcastle Rock beers out in town. In fact, 4. There's Snow White, Cosmic Dancer, Choc and Orange Stout, Midlands Bitter. So that's 4 beers from Castle Rock. Is it in a can? Ooh, interesting. I'll do that review next. And at the Barley Twist, which is a Castle Rock Brewery pub, there's the free Emperor's Brewery Steel City. I think it's Steel City. Collabs, the sours. Off the 24th to the 29th. Well, at least you're getting some time off. I've worked in retail, and Christmas is not a nice time for retail because you're working your backside off all the way up to Christmas, and then you're back in. Depending on what retail you're in, obviously shops. And obviously the government are gifting the shops a lot of money again, aren't they? Because people will be going to shops to buy booze and stopping at home, which is not the thing to do. Pubs are safe, as long as you keep away from people who are coughing and splurting all over you. That's what we've done today. So I wanted to go into town, and the wife was in and ahhing, and I thought, I want to go into town. I want to go to this particular bar. And then we were looking at restaurants, and this time of the year, I always find this time of year is a crap time of the year to go to any restaurants because the food's never as good, and that's universally all of them. But we've seen a restaurant, and I've only just found out that it's a Navigation Brewery restaurant, and they've got 2 beers that I've never tried. So 2 half a pints in there. I'll make sure I don't drink too much. We're going to have a meal in there, so support them with a bit of money for a meal, and then we'll shoot down and do the Castle Rock pubs, and then be home for about 9:30, 10 o'clock. That's the plan. I've got my beers of the year coming up, so they're all beers I've mainly had before, to be fair. Yes, they do, mate. Yeah, yeah. And the Emperor's Brewery collab. Um, I'm looking. There's 2 from Bang the Elephant that I'm really looking forward to reviewing. The Hobby One Kenobi, which is the Emperor's Brewery collab, and what's the other one called? Stroking the Aardvark. Sounds wrong, that does. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, some good beers. There's a lot. You know, when you go in the shop, their new bottle shop's amazing. The range of beers. After Christmas, when I do beer hauls, I'm just going to go to his shop and buy the beers directly because he'll have all the beers I want. So I can do a whole brewery. I can get 30 quid's worth at a time. Do a whole brewery, 9 or 10 beers in one go, and he ain't got to traipse around town trying to get hold of them. Which is all I wanted really. A shop that sells not the expensive beers like £10 a can, because you can't always afford it, can you? I mean, I don't mind paying now and again for it, but not all the time. Not on them sort of wages. Not a lowly gardener. So yeah, a lovely red tinge to this, malty. This is the sort of beer, a Christmas beer that I like. I'm not keen on these Christmas beers that are golden ales. I know they are there, and I know they're there for a reason because you're appeasing the majority. But yeah, the delivery fees are a bag into it. It is a bag. It's a bit like me with the Thornbridge subscription box. I'd like to get the Thornbridge subscription box, but I need somebody near me, another beer fan near me who wants to go half. So we're both paying 15 quid each. 15 quid each for the 4 or 5 beers. It's a good price. 30 quid a month just on Thornbridge. I mean, the January Thornbridge box is a stunner as well. There's a cherry. Yeah, Red Dog. Red Dog is near me. Although he promised me 2 beers before Christmas, and then a while ago, and he drank them. Then again, I'd have probably done the same. To be fair, yeah. He got me two from his workplace, and he drank them. Yeah, fair play. I'd have done the same. It's like promising somebody some of my own brew. No chance. I've already drank it all. So yeah, Milestone Brewery. If you don't know Milestone Brewery, for those watching and not knowing what this is, they're a brewery based in Nottinghamshire. I think it's on the Lincolnshire border, to be fair. Massive range of beers. Adventure Beer has a lot of their beers, but they also used to do, or may still do, homebrew kits. So, and homebrew kits of the beers they sell, which is very interesting. As somebody who likes beers, for me, good traditional beers. They aren't a craft brewery. They're traditional. I'd say more traditional than anything. 10% MP. What? I know. I'm tempted next year to go all out and buy an expensive advent calendar. Fire Rock do one for 110 quid, so it's not cheap. But the beers aren't. They're all top beers. You pay for what you get, don't you? I'm also thinking of doing low cost. If they do one, I'll nudge him earlier in the year and I'll say you need to get them on a bit earlier because he waited until like the last week in November to put them on. Obviously, he's busy, but I'd like to do one of theirs because theirs are crazy and you don't know what you're getting. And I like that. I like not knowing what you're getting because there's a good chance there'll be 24 that I've never tried. The Jeremy Clarkson's new lager? Yeah. Wow. Now, here's the thing with Jeremy Clarkson's new lager. One beer reviewer got the lager for free, and was money involved because when you get to when you get a big following, there's a chance that money's involved. Like a sponsored review to give it a fantastic review. Obviously, no one's ever going to admit to that. So, and he won't. So one reviewer gave it 9.1 out of 10. The other reviewer, oh, hopefully, mate. I'd like to. I might message him, see if I can get one if it goes down. The other reviewer who reviewed it last night, Scott, he bought it and he says it's not a bad lager, but for the price, it's very expensive for the price. So if you see it cheap, try it. But I wouldn't advise going to Amazon. I think it was Amazon. Is it 12 bottles for 40 or 50 quid? Bloody expensive for a lager. You know, it's not a craft beer. Yeah, because no one's going to pay me to review it. So if I review it, I've paid for it, and if I've paid for it, then I'll have my own viewpoint, and I won't care if it's Jeremy Clarkson doesn't, you know, just because it's him, it doesn't bother me. I'm not doing it to be his mate. Obviously, I'm not going to be an arse. You know, you review in the way that you review everything. Try and be positivity over negativity, but yeah, I mean there are some beers out there that you can't be positive over. Um, I've had a few this year. 24 pack, 50 quid. 24 is okay. But who wants 24 of any one lager? Unless you're a lager drinker and a big lager drinker. 24. Yeah, it's still £2 something a can, isn't it? And again, if one was sent to me to review, I'd do it. But I'm not. I'll never pay 50 quid just to review somebody's some famous bloke's lager who's already got loads of millions as it is. But I mean, if it is a good lager, because obviously I don't know, I've not reviewed it. But if it is a good lager, then it's good for the lager trade to have a new lager that shines some light on the lager trade. So it's not a bad thing in that respect. But I'm still not paying silly price for it. I'll wait till it comes into B&M or Own Bargains cheap. Pound a bottle. Yay. By then, the media would have died down as well. So, enjoying this. It's just a traditional malty red ale. Not sure if it's a proper lager. See, I don't know, matey, either. Yeah, you've got to taste it to know, haven't you? What you want is it on cask or keg somewhere so you can actually get a taste of it without paying silly money for it. You know, get a third. Yeah, I bet they do know. Oh, Barry, mate, how are you? Yeah, the Bailey's strawberry is like a strawberry milkshake version of Bailey's, and it's just absolutely wacky, and it's so drinkable. It's very, very deadly drinkable. If you like strawberry milkshakes, oh my gosh, it could wallop you. So how are we doing, Mr. Barry? Hope you're well. Have you recovered? Are you still off for Christmas? I know you had some days laid up because it was at your leg. My foot still is no better. Can't fault you. Quality street beer range? No, not seen that. No. Oh God. I've got a lot of breweries in my feed, but do you know sometimes social media you can't refresh every single social media, so you miss so much. Um, I've got like 300 different breweries in my feed, and like I say, sometimes they just whiz by, and I tend to get a lot from the same people. Your knee sounds like my leg. Good afternoon, Jim. How are you, matey? Yeah, your knee sounds like my foot. I fell down the manhole and at work, and they ain't claimed because I wouldn't want to. I can't destroy my own work, you know, not in COVID. And I put it down to unless they treat me horrible. Purple one, strawberry dream, toffee penny. Wow, they sound amazing, don't they? For Christmas as well. Quality street beers. Oh, yeah, them parks in Poland. Yeah, parks in Nottingham are crap and all. Standard of gardening. I'd love to kick the arses of councils around the country and say, get your gardeners to work properly. I mean, on my own, I could pull a part. My old part where I used to work, I could pull that back on my own with with clever gardening. It's not working harder. It's clever gardening, and these things are easy done with the right tools and the right look at it. Polish stouts. I'm still looking for shops that do. These shops. All of a sudden, you walk into a shop and it's like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah, what you find is on councils up and down the country, is that the standard of workers has dropped massively. At one stage, council workers were some of the best out there. Now they've all either left and retired, gone private, working on their own because they're disillusioned and getting paid crap money as well. Doesn't help. Um, and it's a sad times. I mean, I could go private and do work, but this time of the year, I might struggle a bit more. Although gardening is all year round, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I mean, if I wanted to, I could tell people just spread my name, and because I'm good at my job, and I do a fan, I break my back working, but I also give away free plants and stuff because I'm a sucker. It's just I want their garden to be an extension of my garden. So if it looks good to me, then I'll know it looks great to them. And all the gardens I've done, they've all improved miles. And I won't work on a garden, I won't work on somebody's garden where the dog's shitting all over the garden. And, because you're wasting your time. But yeah, I mean, it's like the two hotels I work at, looking after the gardens, same company, two hotels. And, that free reign to do as I please and to just go for it. Oh, I have massive pride in my work, and I'm always thinking, do you know that the for me the person whose ethos is unbreakable is Walt Disney, and with theme parks, he wanted to create a theme park that was always going to get better, that was never going to stay stagnant, and evolve all the time. And that I use that ethos in gardening to always try and improve, always try and plus it. And if I'm not happy, I'll take it. I like my own garden. I'm never happy, so I'll take it down and redo it again. Yeah. Might even redo the beer wall at some stage and sort out these levels so I can have a row with cans on that are, all 330s and then one with all 440s, so I can get more on the beer wall. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah. Luckily, it's only screwed on, so it's dead easy to take off, he says. So anyway, for those coming late, this is Milestone's Flasher. Oh, Dasher rather. Yeah, Dasher. A foreign shelf. Yeah. Oh, it's on a foreign shelf. Yeah. Try and get some beers from abroad. I've got one Polish beer up there. Yeah, he's been sat there a while. Brewery Lodzki, a lager beer, 5%. Yeah. Dasher the Flasher. I've come across a lot of flashers in my time, obviously, on the Arboretum. Lots and lots of flashers. We chased one day, dirty, where the high school for girls at the back of the one of the shrubberies, and he's in the shrubberies there, So we ran up after him, and I tell you, I was in my 20s then, and I was bloody fast runner, fit as a fiddle. And this little twat got away from me and my mate, and both of us were obviously the fear of getting his head kicked in made him run a lot quicker. Although would I have kicked his head in? No, but what I would have done the proper citizen's arrest and maybe put a boot in, but you never know. It's funny how you mellow over the years. You're not the person you used to be. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I've also chased somebody who supposedly had a gun in the bushes. I agree. I do agree with that comment as well, mate. I do. Yeah, some companies take the mick out of you, of your goodness. Yeah, and I'm always wary of that. Even where I'm working now, I assess what other people are doing, what they're getting paid, what I'm getting paid, and the general level of appreciation. And obviously, for nearly 10 months, I was a lone worker. And now I see everyone coming back, and then I watch what other people do. Good afternoon, Disco. How are you? Yes, I'm off out boozing tonight, so supporting hospitality, as beer reviewers should be doing, really, if they can afford it and if they can get out. And obviously if your health does it. Yeah, so me and the wife, we were supposed to be going out tonight anyway, but the do got cancelled. We was going to Wetherspoons as well for a meal, and I didn't choose it obviously, but somebody did. But I'm actually going to a brewery, a local brewery pub, so I'm gonna have a couple of beers there. Then I'm off to Castle Rock Brewery's pub, having some of their beers, some new collabs, and then another Castle Rock Brewery pub to have some Imperial Sours, which are Emperor's Brewery slash Steel City slash Lost Industry, I think it is. 3 of them. So yeah, I shall be steaming tonight. Yeah, that's why. Early beer reviews, and yeah, then get something to eat before I go out, and then have something to eat while I'm out and all. So just make sure I'm not overly drunk too quick. Hate getting drunk too quick. You know, and we'll be back home for about 10 o'clock. Won't take me long to, and hopefully some sneaky beer reviews. I need to brave up and do some beer reviews in pubs and stop being a wimp. You know how it is. You know, sometimes when you don't get a piss. At the Robin Hood Beer Festival, I didn't give a monkeys. I was doing beer reviews at like 11 o'clock at night with a massive crowd of people around me, and then doing like this with a camera. Didn't give an absolute shite. And pardon my French. Not supposed to be swearing on beer reviews, but yeah, these things happen. And yeah. And then other times I'm sat in the pub and I'm like, no, I'm not brave enough. So hopefully tonight, a bit of Dutch courage and I'll be all right. It's funny, when I was out with Bullman at one stage, same again there. I did not give them monkeys. Yeah, spilt some one of the Vault City sours down there. Yeah, that was expensive. Oof. Trousers smelt nice though. So, 27 minutes. Wow. Wife's up the house doing cakes. She's not bothered. Ah. Yeah, I've just put my pinter on to brew. I forgot all about it, to be honest. And I didn't even drink some of the guest list. There's a couple of pints that I didn't drink, so naughty Billy. But I've got the Space Opera, the double IPA, and I've added about 500 grams. Yeah, I was once. Yeah, I think that's because you lot were there, Adam, and yeah, I didn't really. It's funny how you can just be brave all of a sudden. See, my natural personality is to be quite shy. Then when I've had a drink, then the other personality comes out. They're rather loud, rather. Good afternoon, Benjamin. Yes, mate. We're all going out. Yeah, we're off to the pub. 3 different pubs. Hopefully, some short beer reviews because I can do them and I can talk to the camera and no one really knows. They just think you're doing a bloody video call. So yeah, I'm off to sample some beers. Support the local breweries as you do, and drink some bloody nice beer. Yeah, there's a method in the madness. Yeah, the wife won't be drinking much, but I flipping will be. Yeah, she'll have a lager shandy, and I'll have 3/3 or 2/2 or 3/2 even. And yeah, got to, ain't you? Christmas. It's Christmas. Yay! I've got so many nice beers lined up between Christmas and New Year. Absolute. I'm going to drink a lot of money's worth of beer. I'll check that out later, that Republic thing. It's just flashed up down there. So yeah, a red ale, sorry. I nearly said Imperial Red then. It'd be funny and hilarious if the Thornbridge one today that I'm going to review straight after this is the Imperial Red. 2 reds at the same day from 2 different advent calendars. Now that would be funny. A rich red ale full of Christmas cheer, 4.5%. And like I say, these do a lot of Christmas beers and really nice. If you like your traditional beers, you're going to love this. Like I say, all about the maltiness. It's an easygoing traditional Christmas beer, 4.5%. Yes, I did have a Beer 52 box. A friend of the channel, Nagan, actually sorted me out. I think did I get it for free and had to pay a bit for postage. And to be honest, it was a bit disappointing. Yeah, it was like beers of Australia, eight eight different beers. But to be honest, oh right, tasted lovely to me. But let's remember, with everybody who drinks beers, that we all have our own opinion. What I would say with the creme brulee is, if you like creme brulee, if you like creme brulee, you're going to love it. What, the creme brulee? Oh, the Bear 52 box. Yeah, 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 yeah. I get you. I get you. But yeah. If you like creme brulee, you're laughing. No, I think that all these beer subscriptions are the same. We're gonna. I'm tempted to get Thornbridge's January box because of the cognac necessary evil. There's a cognac necessary evil, so that's a £12 bottle of beer inside a box with 30 quid's worth of beers. What the hell was a golden ticket? What, Willy Wonka? Golden ticket? Yeah, I know a song about that. Yeah. I might one day get my son to put some of the songs that I sing when I'm driving on. Yeah, just to see how shite my singing is. Oh, a free box at Beer 52. Ah. And that's a good thing, Benjamin. Yeah, yeah. Because craft beers, if you're a lager drinker, once you get the right craft beers or the right traditional beers, it's a great world. But there's a lot of lager drinkers who have a beer and it's not nice. It's not their cup of tea, and they hate it, and so it gives them a bad experience. I had a bit of a job unsubscribing from Beer 52, and the bastards keep spamming my junk folder. Yeah, but I ignore it anyway. Unless there was a big offer come up, then it might be worth having a poke at it. We'll see. And yeah, I must keep my eye on the advent calendars at low cost. See if there's any for after Christmas. If they come down to 30 quid, then it's worth a punt. Yeah, yeah. All beers. I mean, there are some amazing traditional beers out there. There's some amazing craft beers, and then there's Twice as Nice from Aldi, which is the worst advertisement for a craft beer that you could ever dream of. And sadly, Williams Brothers Brewing's Cherry Baby was also a bad advertisement for them and Aldi because it was not a nice lager. Just goes to show you that even good companies can make bad beer now and again, bad lagers. So yeah, lovely red ale, crystal clear. For me, would I drink it again? Probably not, because I've done this a couple of times now, and I'm trying not to go drinking too much. Oh, the other one. And yeah. For me, a good 4.0 out of 5. Yeah, it's a lovely traditional beer. For those who like traditional beers, this is your sort of beer. Right, got to click off, refresh, and come back, and I'm on the phone bridge. And cheers, everyone. Thank you for participating, and we'll see you later. Cheers. Well, about 2 minutes if anybody comes back.